Good evening, everyone. Still getting pinged here. Turn that off for y'all. Um, Welcome to round 5 of Division 2 here in Season 11. We have a few more people than we did last night. Attendance looking a little bit better here. I know the Alpine drivers are dealing with some family stuff, so they are both out tonight. We still have a couple of empty seats in D2 right now, one with Williams and one with Ferrari. We have Rensler here filling in for the empty Ferrari seat tonight. He is the first one here on a push lap with Nadewell right behind him on his first push attempt here. Looks like everyone is out on the soft tires. Last night we saw, actually, no, we have a med on hards, but he is not out of the pits yet, so we'll see what he does with those. Rensler here as he heads through 5, 6, and 7 up to 8 down here. A little bit wide of the apex, but solid on the power on the exit through 9, and then the dreaded turn 10. Downhill left, basically the lockup monster there. Maybe because he used a little bit more speed on exit there, but a solid ride through turn 10 for him. Madewell a little bit quicker behind him through the first sector. It's still a solid time so far for Rensler. Rensler showed some nice D2 pace so far in the few races he has reserved for us this season, I believe. He is from Mexico. Doesn't speak a whole lot of English, but he is shown to be very racy so far, and it's a pleasure to have him race with us tonight. So we'll see a 28.8 for Rensler, and then Nadewell, the next one about to cross the line, with a 28.3. So a solid start for them. Let's take a look over here. I think we have Rage on an invalid lap. Really rough through there. I'd imagine he'll be coming in. He will be coming in here. Like Chubb Tucker through turn. Chubb Tucker into this. Moving into the third sector, a little bit off of, kind of a ways off of Nadewell's time. This is Chubb Tucker's first Division 2 race this season, as he was previously Ferrari's D2 driver with Marcel. Missed last week, so this is his first race with us. So maybe in a 29.6 for Chubb Tucker here. And the box also pushing into that final sector for the first time. So far, this is a much quicker lap than Chubb Tucker has shown so far. Chubb Tucker is with that 29.6. This may be closer to what we saw from Rensler here on his first push here. And like I said, there you go, right in front of Rensler, so a little bit quicker. Puts man in the box into provisional P2. We have seen man of the box this season, earlier this season at Hungary, get his first race win with, or D2 race win with us. So here we have Roldy, our acting host tonight, Invalid, who showed some solid pace in the D1 race last night. Invalid on his first push attempt here. Let's see, Sudsy Marmot in the Haas, man of the box's teammate. Missed a few races this season so far. A little on the slower side here as we go through Sector 1, but a valid lap will be important here, as we may have a couple of people struggling to set valid laps here. It's easy to run off the track when you're trying to overpush, or even just bottle it in the traction and braking zones. We have a tow there from his teammate, from man of the box there for Sudsy Marmot. We have Kiwi going up into P4 with a 29.5. And then Tanal with his first valid lap at 39.0, so that's not going to be impressing anyone for now, but he is running hard tires at the moment, trying to get some practice laps in. So Sudsy Marmot, a lot of battery left to run up to the line here, but Let's see where this places him. 29.8 puts him into P6. So of the valid laps, that puts him at the back for now. Combined YouTuber with a 28.5, so just about a tenth slower than the fastest first sector we have, currently set by Nadewell. So he's going to be putting up an impressive time here. Combined with his scored his first podium last week. And Nadewell actually improving on the same set of tires, so Nadewell extending that gap even further with a 28.1. Actually, as we are talking about Nadewell and combined, pull up our, that's the wrong one, pull up our standings for right now. Nadewell, despite the rough, kind of unfortunate race for him at Japan last week, he still scored a solid amount of points, even with Spanini's win. So he still holds the championship lead by a single point. And with Spanini out this week, the championship battle is wide open between, it looks like our top 5 guys are all able to maybe put themselves at the top of the championship standings, depending on how tonight goes. Over here combined, setting a 28.9, putting him into P5. So we have we still have quite a few people to set, still yet to set a valid lap. We have Giorgio also scoring a podium last week at Japan. Pushing through the middle sector here. Chonk actually setting the fastest middle sector with his time here with a 28.4. Giorgio with a nice looking first sector here. Actually setting the fastest middle sector for Giorgio. So Giorgio's actually has the potential to put his car in the top 3 here. So let's see as he goes through the final corner here, see what kind of time he sets. Giorgio with a 27.8, so blows our qualifying wide open there. Fastest second and third sector there, beating Nadewell by 3/10. Now we have Rigraff and Rage pushing. Rage heading towards that final sector. I think Rigraff is actually a little bit in front of him. Oh no, excuse me, wrong Aston Martin. So Rage on his way to attempt his first valid lap here in our qualifying session. Again, this is short qualifying. So let's see, Rage in the 28s it looks like, 29s, 30.1, so a rough lap for Rage there. We have Rigraff coming through. It shows purple on the map, but that is not accurate. He's actually quite a ways off of the middle sector time. This Rigraff right now. Rigraff looks like he's going to be in the 30s as well. 30.3 for Rigraff, so a little bit rough pace-wise for these guys. Slick Goku pushing through the middle sector right now. Little yellow flags, and on that mini-map you can see looks like a little bit of toe shenanigans from our Haas boys again, like we saw on their first attempt. So as Slick Goku goes through 15 and 16, he will set a valid time of a 29 flat, which puts him into P8. Roldy here, following Slick Goku here. Looks like he is also about to finish his first valid lap. Let's see, a 29.149 for Roldy, so a little bit slower than Goku, but that puts him into the top 10. Just gonna roll through here, see who is pushing. We have Ahmed pushing on his soft tires for the first time. Chub Tucker up here pushing in to turn 8 for the second time tonight. Quite slow there for Chub Tucker through turn 10, but we did see him with a rough lap on that first attempt. Man of the box actually finishing his second attempt there, going into P3. just ahead of Chonk and Chub Tucker here. Chub Tucker about to cross that Sector 3 line here. We can see where he's at on his own personal delta. So he is up on a second, so he must be going back in here. So he is actually not pushing. So Goku just finished. Roldy on the way back in as well. So he will hop on board with the med here as he goes down towards turn 11. Previous time on 39 flat, so with hard tires. So this is his first push attempt. Look like he has someone in front of him. Maybe Roldy just ran out of fuel, and then Aston Martin. Sector time, she's about a second off of our fastest middle sector on this lap. And he invalidates at the final corner. He's going to finish just for that delta. So let's see, 29.7. So rough lap there for Ahmed. I would have put him, I believe, in P10 or P11, excuse me. But I think we have. But let's see, we have Kiwi. Not sure if Kiwi is pushing here. So let's see Marmot pushing towards final corners here for their second push attempt here. Looking for an improvement from 29.8. Actually, yeah, 29.8 does. So about almost an 8/10 improvement for Sudsy Marmot. It puts him into P8. So a really nice improvement. Maybe a little bit of a help from the toe from the teammates. If Kiwi is actually pushing here, they have way too much battery left, but still a solid lap. Kiwi 28.9, crossing line with about 40% battery is a surprising amount of battery left, as we've usually seen people under 10% as they finish a lap, but Kiwi doing a good job there with that disadvantage, still putting her Red Bull into the top 10. So now we're about 4 minutes left in this session. No one is currently on a push lap right now. Everyone is sitting in the pits waiting for their final go, and actually Rensler will be the first one out for their final attempt here. Looks like he just wants a clean track in a nice amount of time. So he's the first one on that lap here for the final part of our qualifying. Now look at our standings one more time while he drives around the track again. Nadewell leading the championship by 1 point. That fastest lap he snagged at Spa, definitely helping him out here, keeping him on top of our championship order. Combined with that first podium, and Chonk having a really strong season so far, the podium may propel Combined back to where he was expected to be as the #1 pick. But Combined, always a competent racer, even with his Australia ping. Definitely always one of our cleanest racers. And Sudsy Marmot has left the session, so I will go ahead, drop this, and see if I can get an invite for him. Actually, I'll keep that up while I'm doing this, so there's something to look at. Or better yet, I can do this. Boom, you guys can... Oh, it doesn't even work. Okay, never mind. Send him a couple of invites here. We see in the background we have Rensler on his final push lap of our session. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. So let's see. Let's follow him as he goes through this lap. Heads through turn 4. Let's see where his delta is relative to his own lap here. He looks like he's actually 2/10 up on his time. So 2/10 improvement potentially may be vying for P4 of the current standings. A little bit wide through turn 8 there. And the always fun turn 10. Really solid line through there. Really committing to the wide line on entry for a narrower exit. Looking very smooth for him. Turn 11 kind of blows the apex there. Almost loses the car, but hangs on to it. We're about to cross that Sector 3 line. So let's see. Did he lose any time going through those? He lost a little bit, about a 10th and a half there. So he's less than a 10th up on his time. Kind of nice Kind of a solid turn 14 there, but one more corner to go. Let's see. Will he be able to improve on his time? And he invalidates as he goes on that final corner. And not enough time to go around again. That'll basically do it for his qualifying. Nadewell looks like he's pushing into a lot of people weaving and things in front of him. So some unaware drivers here on their outlap as Nadewell's pushing. So Nadewell's about to cross the Sector 3 line. Will he improve? Up by about a tenth and a half. Needs a lot of more to catch up with Giorgio right now, who's put in a banger of a first lap here. A little bit of a tow there from an Aston Martin in front of Nadewell. So very smooth through that final corner here on the battery as he heads towards the line. Where does this put him? 27.899, so not enough to pass Giorgio as Giorgio starts his final lap here. So maybe maybe Nadewell going out a little bit too early as he started running into the traffic of people who had yet to start their lap. Moncure going into turn 8, blows that apex by a mile. Chubb Tucker pushing as well. So I believe we have Rensler. Well, he's just driving around the track. No chance of being able to do an extra lap there. Looks like we have this may be. Looks like we have Slick Goku here. Will be the first one to finish their final lap. After Marmot and Rage. Rage looks like didn't actually make it to the line. So Slick Goku going into the final corner, currently with a 29.8 down in P10, or 29.0 in P10. Oh, yep, standing still in the way. Whoopsie. So Slick Goku improving up to P6. So almost a 3/10 improvement with it, and a nice jump up the boards there. Roldy finishing his time, so that's moving himself into P10. Ahmed going into P3 with his final push lap here. Man in the box with a humongous tow from this Aston Martin. I don't know what that is, but puts man in the box up into P4. Very odd little situation there. Giorgio smashing his previous time, putting himself into 27.5. Chubb Tucker coming across the line. Nadewell, no battery, so he's finishing. So that is it. That is our qualifying order, with Giorgio setting pole by over 3/10, followed by Nadewell, our championship leader, and Ahmed Abdullahi in P3 there. So a solid qualifying there, kind of a big gap between our top 6 here, almost a second, or over a second between Giorgio and combined. So as we load into the next session, we can take a look. Here is our team telemetry page of that qualifying session. You see the times. Looks like we actually have, everyone has their telemetry on, so that's nice. Now, telemetry has been very goofy this year. Sometimes you turn it on, but nothing happens. Sometimes you turn it on and only some things show through. But we have instructed Roldy, who was our host tonight, to give everyone about 90 seconds to change setups, make any adjustments like that, as we do not run Parc Fermé. And then he will ready up, and we will proceed to the race. We'll bounce back over to that. Man, it is hot down in Texas right now. 105 today. Absolutely sapped from work. So, yes, if I suddenly mute, it's probably because I'm yawning or taking a sip of my drink. Which tonight, we have a nice, delicious Crystal Light fruit punch drink mix in a big water bottle. So, very pleasant. except when I accidentally somehow sucked down like half the powder with like my first drink, and that was rather unpleasant, but the rest of it's coming out quite nicely. Yeah. Not sure if Sudsy Marmot got back into the session, so I'll send him some invites. All right, there we go. Finally getting this race underway with Giorgio on pole as our race begins here. Nice start for him. Let's hop on board with our guys here at the front. Looks like a couple of stuff happening combined, losing a position to his teammate here. Chub Tucker trying to send it down the inside of Kiwi into turn 1, but a lot of traffic in front of him prevents him from doing just that. Giorgio running away. Ahmed, as predicted, is a hazard on track as he is ghosted, already losing a position, a man in the box. Rage, Rigraff, and Slick Goku back here. So we can kind of see the cars in front. We have an Aston Martin, looks like Roldy, ghosted, and a Ferrari, I believe, of Renzler up there going offline. So Nadewell and Giorgio getting off really well as man in the box, overtaking Ahmed into turn 1. Let's take a look at our tires here. We definitely have some interesting strategy options. Ahmed deciding to go onto the hards, so I think him and Slick Goku maybe did not get the memo about the hard starts for this game. But we did see last night that potentially the softs actually wear slower than the mediums at this track. But even with that said, it's just choosing between them two and then going onto the hards in the second half of the race. But man in the box on those mediums, down 2.3 seconds already to Nadewell. With clean air, no big battles from Ahmed right now. Ahmed actually losing more positions here, falling down the order, being passed by Kiwi in the Red Bull now. So Kiwi with a really big start. Kind of take a look at our position changes. Kiwi up 3 positions, Conk down 3, Tanel down 2. Giorgio setting the fastest lap, setting the pace here at the front of the race, excuse me. Combined and Chub Tucker going at it here. Ahmed going really wide. Looks like Chub Tucker getting in front of him. Going to turn 1. Renzler down back here, losing position, Sudsy Marmot, and that's combined. Looked like he may have just lost it on traction, maybe missed a little, if there was any contact. Looks like maybe Ahmed is also slow there in the gravel. Don't really see any damage from this camera angle. But with all of this fighting, Kiwi and man in the box now going side by side through the middle sector here through turns 7 and 8, now into turn 6 and 7, excuse me, now into 8. Kiwi holding on to that lead for now, getting that position. No, still side by side. Hop on board here as we go into turn 10. Kiwi maybe looking for a switchback as we go through turn 10 towards turn 11. We will have DRS for Kiwi, but Kiwi looks like they did not get the best traction as they on the exit of turn 10 there. Still a little ways back, not probably close enough to send it here. Kiwi not making a move, but look at that gap to Giorgio Nadewell. 5 seconds is already the gap, and we're not even done with 2 laps here. Looks like we may have Roldy actually going around back here on the exit of turn 12. So hopefully no contact there. Ahmed coming up behind him on those hard tires. Rinsler now kind of falling off the order here, like we saw with Man in the Box and Kiwi up front. Rinsler now 2.2 seconds behind with Rigraff and Rage right behind him. Nadewell really close to Giorgio, setting the fastest lap on this previous lap by about 6/10 compared to Giorgio. Saw a little squirreliness as he went through turn 1 as he got really, really close to Giorgio. Likely too far to make any moves going into turn 4 here. Doesn't mean people behind will chonk here. We see 2 wide between Chub Tucker and Sudsy Marmot. Oh, they come together and Sudsy Marmot goes around. So that's more yellow flag. They have Rinsler and Rage going side by side through turn 4 now. A little bit of contact. Rage able to recover there. Looks like Rinsler backing out and Rage having a bit of a traction issue there, and Rinsler getting the position back from Rage. Sudsy Marmot back into P7, losing out on that fight with Chonk and Chub Tucker, but still in the race. Rage and Rinsler racing very closely with Combined right behind them. Combined losing out on quite a bit of time and positions on the previous lap with what was some sort of spin. Slick Goku still in the battle with these hards, but you kind of see that delta kind of bouncing up and down and up and down. He's just struggling compared to these mediums and softs for right now. And again, we saw yesterday that we saw Castleman just stretch those softs to the point where he was fighting for the lead of the race with Marcel, and here we have Nadewell looking to take the lead of the race from Giorgio with the help of that DRS, and that gap to P3, 6.3 seconds already. So the battle for the midfield fight here is very fierce, just like we saw yesterday. So we have Rinsler and Rigraff going almost side by side. Excuse me, Rinsler, yeah, that was Rigraff, excuse me. So scrappy battles for P7 and scrappy battles for P3 right now. See Sudsy Marmot going defensive. You almost see Rinsler go into the back. Looks like Sudsy Marmot actually did go around. Actually, no, just losing positions there. So the scrap continues for P7 here. Rigraff taking that position for everyone. Slick Goku barely hanging on to the back of that train. Ahmed already pitting off of those hards down to medium tires, so he's going to have to pit one more time before the end of the race, so he's just going to be trying to not be lapped and praying for a safety car for the remainder of the night. Up here in the battle for P3, we have Chonk right behind Man of the Box. Kiwi showing some nice pace, holding her own for now, but that gap between them and Giorgio growing bigger and bigger every lap. And Nadewell setting the fastest first sector as we go into lap 5. Even with that, Giorgio still is going to easily make that overtake happen. As we head into turn 1 there. Not a lot of battling. They know if they battle, they'll lose time to Kiwi and the rest of the field. Chub Tucker kind of losing out to this P3 train. We see some big overtake attempts. Look like Combined trying to go really aggressive on Rinsler here. So far not able to make it work, but he will have DRS again. And a really nice run on Rinsler going into turn 4 here. Looks like he's going to get that move done. Nope, Rinsler has some nice top speed here. Sudsy Marmot and Rage battling back there behind them. But Combined making that move stick for now. Sudsy Marmot losing out on this. Now Slick Goku actually into the fight now, so maybe we're at the point where the hards are already competitive tires. Or just all of this battling is really becoming difficult for them. Chonk and Man of the Box scrapping as they go through 9 and 10. Man of the Box coming out on top for now. Chub Tucker actually closing the gap up to these guys quite nicely. Well, losing some time there with the help of DRS for Chonk, but we will keep an eye on that delta. But Nadewell, after being overtaken by Giorgio heading into turn 2, actually retook that position from Giorgio. Now Giorgio used the help of that DRS to slingshot himself back into the lead of the race. And certainly does. So Nadewell now behind. Looks like Chonk overtaking Man of the Box, excuse me. Misclicked there. So man in the box losing out to Chonk there. Kiwi still leading this little field here. We have Rensler being overtaken by Combine. Maybe a little contact there as Rensler falls off quite far after that overtake, or excuse me. So we actually do see that Combined has caught up with Chub Tucker. Chub Tucker may have actually made a mistake that we missed because he was only about 2 seconds behind man in the box less than 1 lap ago. Now he is fighting for his position with this train behind him. Slick Goku is still in the fight with these hards. The big challenge for him is just pitting early enough that he can make it to the end on either the soft or the mediums, but also not early enough that they die. So Kiwi and Chonk here battling for position 3, man in the box, just behind both of them. Rage is currently the closest driver to his competitor outside of the top 2. And we should see Giorgio and Nadewell swap positions quite often as they battle for the lead of the race. But we still have 22 laps to go. Ahmed already getting a 3-second time penalty, so a hazard to himself on track. Looks like we have a Ferrari going into the pit, so Chub Tucker already into the pits very, very early. Looks like he's going to get onto hard time. Do I see mediums? Chub Tucker on mediums. So Chub Tucker electing for a 2-stop here, going to mediums are only 7 laps into the race. So that is his second set of mediums for Chub Tucker. So a bit of a questionable call, I believe, for Ferrari, but we will see how this plays out. Renzo there with kind of a bit of a rough exit on turn 8 there. Rigraph getting really, really close behind him, and Rage following suit. Again, Rigraph really close to the back of Rensler. I think maybe he is struggling in those traction zones right now. We are on lap 7 now, but we did see our boys last night take these soft tires quite long relative to what we usually see from everyone. So we're currently not seeing, we don't have a lot of sample with our mediums, as we only have 2 people on mediums versus a lot of these soft runners. Everyone else is already pit. But just looking at this, man in the box's tire wear is looking really good, and Sudsy Marmots is looking quite rough. So it's a big field, or it's a big stretch of tire wear here. We see Rigraph actually taking an attempt to kind of make an overtake on Rensler, but backs out heading towards turn 3. So this train still battling ever onward here, with Combine leading them into turn 4. In front of them we have Chonk actually now in P3 with Kiwi and man in the box. We have Ahmed spinning out in the 3rd sector, I believe on the exit of turn 14. So Ahmed having quite the rough race so far. Banks and Cube saying that mediums make 0 sense to use. It's just softs, but worse. So that is definitely kind of what we may be seeing here. Man in the box doing a solid job with his soft tires. Rigraph getting in front of Rensler with the help of DRS as Rensler fell off the DRS of Combined. So Rensler just struggling a lot right now. Look at that exit at 11, just losing time and time. Rigraph passed him just a corner ago, and he's already almost a second behind. Rage looking to get behind before. Oh, Rage is on the battery. Maybe Rage will send it on the final corner, but Rensler will have DRS. Nadewell into the pits. So hards for Nadewell here. So we will see how much longer will Giorgio stay out. Also, Nadewell going to be driving into a lot of traffic here. Let's see where he comes out. It's going to look like he's going to be racing Sudsy and Roldy on exit here. We also have Chonk and Rensler pitting for those hards. So Nadewell coming out in quite a bit of traffic. Well, just 2 cars, I suppose. So Rensler, Chonk, and Nadewell all pitting to the hards. on lap 9 here. Split Goku, Rage, and Rigraff still fighting for, I believe, net position 8. Or net position 7, excuse me. Rinsler, long way down. Roldy with a, I think that's Sudsy Marmot into the wall, actually. So in front of turn 9, Sudsy Marmot going into the wall, missing exactly what happened there. So I'll have to be careful on the rejoin here with Chonk going by. No safety car VSC yet. And Sudsy Marmot struggling again, trying to get back on the onto the track with both Ferraris coming up behind him. So will Giorgio pit on the lap that right after Nadewell? He will. Giorgio electing to go in, not wanting to get undercut, but does maybe recognize that Nadewell is running into some traffic here. So Nadewell around Roldy for most of this lap. Looks like he's going to try to make the move happen. Nope, he's not going to go for it until we go down that main straight. So this is a really good opportunity. Oh, Roldy having a bit of an issue there, causing him to ghost. Rigraff getting a speeding penalty. Nadewell actually is going to come out well behind where Giorgio is. Giorgio's going to come out. Actually, we see Nadewell there, so maybe about a second and a half. Let's see. Right now showing 2.2. But on warm tires, with no traffic between the two of them, Nadewell has a nice opportunity to push to catch back up with Giorgio. The whole field is basically just spreading out here. With the exception here of Chonk and Man in the Box. So Chonk holds on to that position in front of Man in the Box and Kiwi for now. Looks like more yellow flags. Looks like Rage may have gone off here on the exit of turn 7. Exit of turn 6 going into turn 7. So Rage has yet to pit, having a little bit of struggles there. Likely looking to pit on this lap. Slick Goku still yet to pit, but he's only 3 seconds ahead of his teammate. Rinsler getting a 3-second time penalty back in P12. So struggling a little bit of struggles there for Rinsler. Excuse me. So with the way it's looking, Chonk will move up into P3 when people finally pit. Ahmed off the track at turn 2. So definitely continuing to struggle in that absolutely gorgeous Kick Sauber car. Nadewell still not able to close that gap. I wonder if there are any RB team orders here. Maybe Slick Goku gives Giorgio a little DRS to help keep Nadewell away from him for that much longer. We have Roldy going to the pits, followed by Rage. So that'll clear them out of the way. The Chonk train, followed by Man in the Box and Kiwi here. Well in front of the rest of the field. I believe 3 seconds in front of combined. So depending on how much they fight, may see these two packs re-emerge together at some point. But with Chub Tucker on these mediums, even though he is overtaking combined, with combined actually going off the track there, losing a lot of time. So he was 3 seconds behind Kiwi just a moment ago, but now almost 7 seconds is the gap. Rigraff with the time penalty with that speeding. Ahmed with a causing yellow flag in the third sector here, kind of getting close to being lapped. With Giorgio in a nice comfortable spot with Nadewell outside of his DRS. So that traffic that Nadewell hit on his pit exit definitely interfering with his potential race or potential battle for this race win. Chonk about 10.7 seconds behind Nadewell, so he is currently sitting in our final podium position as Slick Goku is yet to pit, and his teammate is actually catching him here. So Giorgio will overtake Slick Goku here with the help of DRS. And Ahmed is coming out right in front of them on new hard tires, so let's see how long it takes for these guys to move out of the way. Well, I guess technically he's not lapped. He's still out there, so it's not a blue flag situation. But Nadewell actually catching up with Slick Goku, so it may actually seem that Giorgio may be slowing may have slowed Giorgio a little bit there. We'll see what they decide to do. Split Goku maybe being a little defensive into turn 10. Yellow flags here. I believe that is for maybe for Roldy back here. Hard to say exactly who, but I believe that was for him. So man in the box now sits in net P3 with Chonk and Kiwi right behind. Chub Tucker about 4.5 seconds behind them, but Chub Tucker is going to have to pit again. So that will move him at least down to P12 from where he sits. Nadewell finally getting in front of Slick Goku. And he may have DRS going into turn 4. And he will, so Nadewell back in the fight for the race win here. Slick Goku with the Checo Perez strat of staying out to help his teammate. Not working out super well. Man in the box and Chonk now battling as we head towards turn 4. Chonk with DRS, man in the box without it. Kiwi's still in that fight with him, but waiting patiently behind as they battle in front of her. We had Chub Tucker had about a, oh my gosh. So looks like Combined having a little bit of issue with Chub Tucker there as he went super wide on Med, actually off the track in front of them. No safety car or anything in front, so Med's just going to be lapped by the rest of the field here as he is slow to rejoin in front of turn 10. So Chub Tucker here battling with Combined. Again, Chub Tucker fighting for something that, well, isn't really going to net him very much as he, again, still has to pit another time as he went medium. Oh, man, does look like he's struggling a little bit on exit. He's very understeery as he goes through turn 11 there. Nadewell actually falling off of Giorgio after catching him on the start of the previous lap. So we will see how this goes. He has DRS, it appears. So maybe just a bad last corner there. We won't have DRS going into turn 4 here as he was not close enough. Chonk holding out his position going into turn 1. Nope, there goes man in the box. Man in the box going for that. We see Ahmed who is lapped behind them. Now, Chonk and man in the box going side by side into turn 2. Who will have DRS? Looks like no DRS for man in the box, and Chonk will have DRS. Now, Kiwi beside them. Chub Tucker finally deciding to pit for that second time to go on to hards. So Chub Tucker down into P12 as predicted. Sudsy Marmot well behind him. Rage well in front. So because of the battling between Combined and Chub Tucker, Combined now has a pretty sizable gap to try to close to catch up with this battle for P3. With the amount of battling we are seeing between these three, there's a very good possibility that Combined is able to close that gap in the next 15 laps. As we see a sizable gap of almost 16, it looks like 15 seconds. 15 seconds or so between Nadewell and man in the box. Slick Goku has yet to pit, but he's still showing off some solid pace. Nadewell still just outside that DRS of Giorgio. Ahmed with another 3-second time penalty. That is 6 seconds for him now. Rigrav with a 10-second time penalty. And here we go. We have Kiwi finally taking that net position 3, I believe, from man in the box. No, man in the box going to stick it around the outside and hold on to that. But who will have DRS? No DRS for man in the box. Kiwi and Chonk. Chonk with a really nice run. So will they both try to overtake man in the box here? Kiwi with some clean air. Chonk being blocked because, oh, no, Chonk actually getting in front of Kiwi. So man in the box holding on to that net position 3, but losing out. But Kiwi loses the position to Chonk, excuse me for that mic whack there. So let's see. So Rensler and Rigraff both with penalties. Rigraff with a 10-second time penalty. for speeding in the pits. Rinsler with a 3-second time penalty for track limit warnings. They are racing themselves in a vacuum right now, as Combined is 4 seconds up the road and Roldy's 5 seconds behind them. Nadewell trying to dump a little extra battery there. So close to that 1 second gap. Shows under 1 second, but no DRS as he heads down this pit straight. As we head into lap 16. But look at that gap. It's right around 1 second. Will he have it here as we go towards turn 4? It looks like he will. So we're going to go through that DRS detection zone right now. And that delta is under 1 second. So he will have DRS. So he is now fighting Giorgio for the lead of this race. As Max and Q pointed out in the chat, this P3 battle is definitely helping out Slick Goku. He will have really nice tires and not a huge gap to have to close to catch back up with him when he finally does pit. And we're probably looking to see him pit probably in the next 3 or 4 laps here, I would imagine. Man in the box getting in front of Kiwi. Combined now has closed that gap down to 3.2 seconds. Actually down to under 3 seconds. There was a big fight between those three just a moment ago. Yellow flags. I believe that is Ahmed moving over. Actually looks like an RB. That's Slick Goku. So right as we start to praise Slick Goku, he goes around at the exit of turn 8 and definitely damages his attempt to battle for a podium here, as he is now behind them and he has yet to pit. Kiwi here looking a bit strange here as Man in the Box falling out of the running order here. Combined now only a second, just a second behind Man in the Box. With a lap car in between them, the battle for P3 is now between Chonk and Kiwi until either Combined or Man in the Box can battle their way back up to them. Back here at the front of the pack, we have Nadewell and Giorgio now following each other with DRS. Nadewell not close enough to take any kind of position swap yet. But we see Man in the Box. Looks like Man in the Box has to pit. So Man in the Box actually has front wing damage. So Man in the Box has to pit to replace that. Kiwi going around the outside of Chonk into turn 1. Not able to make anything happen there, but we'll have DRS as we head into turn 4. Chonk going very, very defensive. Going to make Kiwi go all the way around the outside here to make this move stick. And Kiwi looks like she gets the move done. So Kiwi moves in front of Chonk here. But that gap to Nadewell is so big now. 18 seconds. So Combined about 2 seconds behind Chonk and Kiwi. Slick Goku now 4 seconds behind Combined. So at this point, he was in a really nice spot. But you have to throw in the towel sooner or later and just pit and try to make up whatever time he can before this race ends. There is the potential of catching up with Rigraff to cut into that 10-second time penalty. And back here we see Man in the Box. He was in the battle for P3. Sustain a little bit of wing damage and having to pit for some soft tires here. So Nadewell right behind Giorgio as we head into turn 1. Not close enough to make any kind of move happen, but he is stocking up some battery as we see his battery percentage is now in the mid-90s. He's using some battery here, so he may be going for a move into turn 4. Nope. I misread his battery display there. Looks like Ahmed spinning on the final corner there. Now he goes into the pits. So Nadewell right behind Giorgio now. Able to get a lot of battery here, but we have Kiwi and Chunk battling into turn 4 again. Combined getting closer and closer to these guys. Chunk going really deep, trying to be a little defensive to Kiwi here, but now Combined is in this fight. This Chunk just backing Kiwi up into Combined here. 20-second gap between them and the top 2. So now Combined is in this fight for P3, replacing Man in the Box, who was in this fight a couple of laps ago. Excuse me. We have man in the box actually setting the fastest first sector down with those fresh softs, I would imagine. Or fresher softs. So he may be looking to go for fastest lap with these relatively fresh tires. So with combined now in this battle for P3, Kiwi falling off chunk there a little bit as we head towards turn 1. Combined looking to be patient here. Let's see if Mercedes has anything special here to battle Kiwi for this podium. Difficult opportunity for Combined to try to make any kind of move while Kiwi has DRS and the slipstream from Combined's teammate. Right on cue, man in the box sets that fastest lap time. And he is within Rage's penalty, so penalty right now, man in the box would score a fastest lap point. As if the race were to end right this second, he would finish P10 with Rage's 3-second time penalty. So we mentioned several times tonight, or the last couple of nights, Roldy's been showing some solid pace. Excuse me. And as I say that, he kind of fell out of the DRS of Rensler in front, but with those penalties, he would finish in front of them. So as we head down this back straight, towards the end of lap 19 for these guys. Combined, still hanging in there, but that delta to Nadewell and Giorgio just grows and is just growing and growing and growing. So let's back this up here. Will Kiwi go for a move here on Chonk to get in front of both of these Mercedes? Chonk going a little defensive. Again, going to make Kiwi go around the outside. We'll hop on board with Kiwi. Kiwi is in front at the corner, so Kiwi will not have DRS going into turn 4. Mercedes not looking to swap their drivers yet. So Combined still at the back of this. Maybe we see another attempt here from Chonk on Kiwi. They're going side by side into turn 4. Kiwi a little bit ahead on the exit. Chonk having a bit of a moment there on traction. And Kiwi coming out on top of this battle with both of these Mercedes drivers. So some nice stuff back here. Rigraff, Rensler, and Roldy back here scrapping into turn 4. Roldy closing that gap up back to the back of Rensler after losing DRS. Ooh, that was some spicy-looking tire lockups for Rensler as he went through turn 5 and 6. Rage and Man in the Box battling here a little bit as they go through turn 10 a ways back. Will Man in the Box with these fresher tires go for a move here on Rage at the end here at turn 11? Nope, too far back, having to hold on to that for now. Nadewell and Giorgio still going at it. Giorgio going a little really defensive there into turn 4. Nadewell on that battery on the outside. Giorgio backing out into turn 4, but Nadewell going really deep. Chub Tucker with a 3-second time penalty back here in our battle for P3. Chonk overtaking Kiwi going into turn 1. Now Combined looking for maybe a potential move here on Kiwi. Going around the outside, but Chonk actually moving in front of Combined actually may have hurt him there because he couldn't overtake Kiwi all the way because that other Mercedes was in front of him. So a little bit of a miscommunication there, I believe, for our Mercedes drivers. Rensler pitting again for some strange reason. So Rensler has elected to go off those hards and put on some new medium tires. Very interesting strategy there. But Kiwi in this Mercedes sandwich once again. Roldy actually losing out to his teammate Rigraff there because of Rensler's pitting. So let's see here. Giorgio overtaking Nadewell for the lead of the race with the help of DRS as we go into turn 1 for the 22nd time tonight. Chonk and Kiwi. Chonk, I think, is trying too hard to be too cute with Kiwi. They should just try to be aggressive on the last couple of laps instead of trying to play this game. Because when you are doing these weird things too many times, all it takes is one bad moment of miscommunication. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 1 here. Chonk actually the one losing out here. Kiwi around the outside of Combine. Combine actually ahead at the apex here, but Kiwi in front at turn 2. Losing a bit of time there as Kiwi's forced to lift. So Kiwi with no DRS actually being overtaken by both of the Mercedes there. But Chonk and Combine tapping a little bit. As we head towards turn 4, Kiwi maybe actually trying to make a move on Combined here as we go through turn 5 and 6. But not far enough alongside to force Combined or force Chonk offline here. So Combined doing a good job of closing this gap that was built at the start of the race. And now is in P3. One thing we haven't mentioned was Slick Goku hit 2 laps ago, but has almost a 5-second gap to close to Rage just to catch up with him. And then another 3 seconds to catch up with Man in the Box, who hit 3 laps before. So back here to Kiwi, back in P5. This is the most exciting battle, and Chonk just falling off there. I'm not sure what's happened there for Chonk. I wonder if Chonk is doing some cheese here to try to force Kiwi to lose on DRS and let Combine go for the podium. Chonk taking a ton of curb there at the apex of turn 14, but Kiwi is still going to be well within that DRS of Combined. So the Mercedes sandwich has flipped for now, with Combined at the front, Chonk at the back, and Kiwi in the middle. Goldie actually catching up with Rigraff back here, so their current positions, Rigraff will fall down to P8 because of that 10-second time penalty. Roldy with a potential for a really nice solid P6 finish here tonight. No action here as we go into lap 23 for these guys. Look like Chonk having a little bit of an issue with his traction. Ahmed has now been lapped twice. But he does have fastest lap, so he has stolen that point from somebody. Man in the box, it appears. So Combined is lapping a lot quicker than Chonk was while Chonk was leading this three-way battle. Combined is now matching the pace of our race leaders right now. But with a 22-second gap, with only 6 laps to go, that's not going to help him all that much, but it is potentially going to prevent too much fighting happening between these three. And maybe keep Kiwi behind them. So let's see. Giorgio and Nadewell going at it. Nadewell taking the lead, and we actually see Ahmed again, so he's about to actually be 3 laps down. Ooh, a big snap of oversteer there for Nadewell. Giorgio on the battery a little bit, but Nadewell kind of holding on to his own for now. Giorgio backing out. Kiwi already up to an 8/10 gap there, but closing pretty quickly to Combined, so there may be a bit of a pace difference here between Combined and Kiwi. And it may actually hurt. Well, we'll see Kiwi having a bit of struggle on the exit there of turn 2, almost losing that DRS delta again, over a second now. But the DRS going to reel them back into it just a little bit more here. Kiwi may be feeling a little under pressure with Combined leading this pack now. Honk really, really close to Kiwi there. Excuse me, really cooking them tires on the exit there, maybe looking for an opportunity. Combined not stretching that lead too much. Kiwi actually doing a good job of catching back up to Combined through this no DRS middle sector. With the help of DRS there is going to help, or through that middle straight will help also, but let's see what that delta does between these last couple of corners. Giorgio and Nadewell doing their bi-lap lead swap here. Excuse me. So Kiwi now in. Excuse me. Behind it. Ooh, big snap from Kiwi there. Looks like we have. Looks like Man in the Box potentially. And that Sudsy Marmot having a big moment back here, losing out. Giorgio and Nadewell battling through turns 6 and 7 here. Nadewell still on top here. Giorgio not making any big moves happen. So very scrappy racing between these two. They know it's basically all on them. They both have one single track limit warning right now. So, excuse me, they will be, one of them will be our race winners most likely without some big momentous crash. So we'll see Slick Goku overtaking Rage into turn 1. So solid recovery from that spin and from that long hard stint he was forced to do after starting on the hards. But I gotta say, very impressive driving from Kiwi here. Combined showing some really nice pace, but Kiwi doing her darndest to hang on and maybe battle for a podium right at the end of the race. So Giorgio right on the butt of Nadewell as we go into turn 1 for the 26th time tonight. Going to easily overtake Nadewell with the help of that DRS. Combined going off the track there, not picking up a track. Yep, picked up a track limit warning, so that'll help Kiwi out a little bit. Rigraff and Roldy. Oh no, Roldy going around. So Roldy falling off that DRS of Rigraff, and now man in the box is going to have Roldy in his sights. He will have DRS as we go down the main straight here in 2 corners. In turn 4 here, Nadewell not able to get back around Giorgio. With a few laps to go, this battle for the win heating up, and this battle for the final podium position very spicy. Man in the box here with the help of DRS and his entire battery. He is going to send it around the outside of Roldy. Hang on to the inside, and we'll get this position as we head towards turn 4, but Roldy's still there with that DRS. Man in the box. Actually, no, excuse me. Man in the box has DRS, but Roldy is actually holding on to that position. So Roldy with really nice traction, but backs out when man in the box goes around the outside there. So very respectful racing from both of them. Roldy hanging on to it for now. That unfortunate spin cost him a lot of time to his teammate Rigraff, but maybe man in the box will actually help him. Roldy having a bit of traction issues there and falling out of DRS of man in the box. As we head into turn 1 for the 27th time tonight, Nadewell and Giorgio swapping that position once again. And now as we head towards turn 4, Giorgio with DRS, likely not close enough to make any kind of move happen in response, so he will sit behind Nadewell for the rest of this lap. But Chonk really, really close to Kiwi here. Will we see Chonk make a move? Let me hop on board here with Chonk. Chonk looks like he's going to try to send it down the inside going to turn 1, making that corner nicely, but Kiwi is still there on the outside. Chonk kind of running into the side of Kiwi there. Kiwi just outside that DRS, so Kiwi will have it. They both will have DRS, surprisingly. But a lot of work for Kiwi to catch back up to Combined here. Some aggressive teammate battles or teammate calls here from Chonk to try to allow Combined to pull away with the podium here. So let's see. Let's hop on board with Kiwi here. And she reel Combined back in. This yellow flag, so that is Rage, who just went off track around turn 1 or 2. Kiwi 1.3 seconds back, so this one attack from Chonk may have cost her an opportunity to fight for the podium, but she is gaining a little time. Let's take a look. We have 2 laps to go after this lap. The endless battle here between Nadewell and Giorgio with 2 laps to go. Nadewell behind. Who will be the dude in front as we go into this final lap? And with Chonk having DRS on Kiwi here, this may be Kiwi having a really rough final corner there. Chonk may have an opportunity to overtake Kiwi into turn 1. Let's take a look. It's like Chonk's going to send it down the inside very aggressively again, forcing Kiwi to go the long way around the outside, but Kiwi back in front as we head towards turn 4, but Kiwi with no DRS. Nothing she can do to Chonk there, and that gap up to 1.7, and that basically seals her fate for the rest of this race. So Combined in a really nice position to finish this race, P3. But let's hop on board with our leaders here. We're about to head into our final lap, and these guys have been swapping positions for the last 28 laps. Let's take a look to see who will come out on top. Will we see any DRS shenanigans as we go into the final corner for the second to last time? Nope. Giorgio just trying to put the hammer. Oh, bit of a slide there on exit. So Nadewell will have a nice opportunity here. Tennell retiring from the session. But Giorgio and Nadewell going side by side into turn 1 here. Who will have DRS on the exit? It looks like it will be Giorgio. So Giorgio with a nice move here. Nadewell actually getting beaten on this DRS check-in, but we do have a lot of corners to go. Let's see, does Nadewell have anything left? Nice run here into turn 8 could do it. Let's see, he's really, really close. Will he send it? Still really, really close. Will turn in 10 or 11 turn it up for us? No, loses a little bit of time there, so he's not going to make a move here. With the help of DRS going to turn 11, will that be it? Let's take a look. Ooh, a bit of a slide there. Oh, rough exit for Nadewell, so not really it. Maybe, let's see. He has a nice run with the DRS. He's going to send it. He is. He's going to send it down the inside of turn 11. Giorgio going really deep and hanging on to that position, so really nice defense from Giorgio. Just a few more corners left with this race. Giorgio with a nice amount of battery left compared to Nadewell's about 10%, so unlikely for Giorgio or Nadewell to make anything happen. Giorgio just dumping the rest of his battery as we head towards the final corner for the final time tonight. It looks like Giorgio will be our race winner with Nadewell and Combined following behind. And it looks like we have Chubb Tucker slow on the exit of turn 4. So that is it. Giorgio wins tonight for his first W here with ZRL. Nadewell coming in P2 and Combined 22.7 seconds behind, coming out in P3, followed by Kiwi, and then it looks like Chonk. Let's see, maybe we have a race to the line here. Not a lot of battery for Chonk. And Kiwi coming in with a nice strong P4, very challenging position to fight both of those Mercedes at the same time. And here goes Man of the Box, 15 seconds behind them. Nice recovery, having to pit again with that broken wing. And then Rigraff with that 10-second time penalty will cede that position to his teammate. So P7 and then it's like Goku actually hops in front of Rigraff. So another nice recovery drive for someone who was in an unfortunate strategy position tonight. Chubb Tucker, who went with the wild medium hard strategy, will finish well behind his reserve teammate. And then drive right into the wall. And the last person here on the grid is Rage. So Rage will come in, not secure that fastest lap unless I am mistaken. Nope. About 0.6 off of that fastest lap set by Ahmed, who finished down in P14. I'm actually curious if he finished enough laps to classify. We'll see when we see this screen here in a moment. It's like a bit of an issue of controversy with some yellow flags between Nadewell and Giorgio. So that may have impacted the ending of that race. But here is our final order. Ahmed looks like he does classify, I believe. So he will score some points by being lapped twice, I believe, before retiring. So congratulations to Giorgio, Nadewell, and Combined on that podium tonight. But I think we'll go ahead and call it for tonight. We didn't do interviews last night, so we won't do interviews again tonight. We will get back on that next week when it's not 155 degrees in Texas, and I don't feel like I'm about to die the entire time. So I thank you guys for joining us tonight. That was a spicy race for all of our podium positions there. Really impressive drives from both the Mercedes drivers, Giorgio and Nadewell, and Kiwi as well. Can't forget her. So thank you guys for joining us. Next week we will be. I should actually know what our schedule is. Excuse me. We will be potentially at the Netherlands at Zandvoort, so we will see how that goes. We saw some weird tire wear at the start of this game, so we'll see how that goes. So everyone have a nice